Hey everyone, it's Mythic here, and welcome to another AFK Journey video. Yes, this is the new season, and we've got two new heroes for us to pull during the Song of Strife season, and they are Elsa as well as Sora. Now, of course, we have the current banner, which is Elsa at the moment in game, and you can see she is quite quirky and jumpy in the banner animation. And yes, if you see the character trailer video, you see that she is quite the interesting character. We're gonna take a look in this video at her skill kit as well as what potential teammates she will have. Of course, we don't know Sora just yet in terms of what he can do, but we do have the skill description for Elsa available. So let's take a look at how good she is and what will be her meta teammates moving forward. Now, first of all, she is going to synergize with units that is able to CC, so crowd control, and she does have very interesting survivability and the crowd control skills herself. Now, her ultimate basically allows her to curl into a ball and moves to the target tile, dealing massive amounts of enemy damage to the adjacent enemy. She also enters combat stance until the end of the battle after using the skill, and in the combat stance she will consume 500 energy to cast a slam, a vigorous slam, and hits the target, and then she moves back to the original slot. So she's going to be very mobile and jumping around, and the slam will also do damage and stunning the enemy for 2 seconds. She'll also prioritize casting Swift Evasion to deal damage to adjacent enemies when she's taking damage from them, and reduce the enemy movement by 60% for 2 seconds, and then she'll roll away and gain a shield after for about 25% of her max HP, and this effect can trigger once every 7 seconds, which is pretty good. And when she is rolling during her ultimate, she is also immune to control, so CC effect. So this allows her to move around the battlefield as well as CC the enemy, and if she is in danger, she will reduce the enemy speed and then boom, pop back and gains a shield that's based on her max HP. So very versatile in that regard, and gonna be quite annoying to deal with. Now, taking a look at her passives, first one channels the power to earth to blast the nearest enemy target, dealing damage and then stunning. So you can see that from the ultimate and off of this 8-second cooldown skill, she's going to be stunning a lot of people. And she also creates an earth pillar, knocking enemies standing on those back one tile. Yes, another form of CC and disruption, and you can have up to 6 pillars on the battlefield simultaneously. Her third skill is going to be essentially locating enemies that have recently been affected by control effects, and that forms a rock that does bonus damage. So this is really cool, basically an extension to any enemies that have come under the CC effect and then dealing massive amounts of damage. And her other passive is going to be haste, and as we know, haste is super good, and she'll gain haste during combat and gains additional haste when she enters combat stance after it's being activated by the twirling rocks, which is the ultimate. So you can see she does have some self-buffing capabilities. And then last but not least, the other skill at Mythic Plus is going to be increasing the damage of Vigorous Slam. And remember, Vigorous Slam is after in combat stance you turn into Vigorous Slam, and then stacking up to 2 times, so 150% increase on the slam, and the shield value of the evasion is increased by 5% and also stacks up to 2 times. Now, the upgrades to this is really strong. Not only does she reduce the energy cost to 400 from 500 to 400 when the buff is maximum, she also reduces the cooldown to 6 seconds when the swift evasion buff is stacked. So basically your ultimate just gets better and better. And again, also offering more damage debuff, but this is 5% stacking to 2, so that's not, you know, gonna be super crazy. And this is the last passive, which is dealing additional damage from the rolling borders to enemies that have been affected by multiple, so more than one control effect. So it's gonna be, for example, Eironn coming out, and then her CC effect causing that insane amounts of damage. And speaking of Eironn, yes, this is going to be I think part of the Eironn CC team. Now, if you guys haven't seen it in action, you can check out my Eironn video, but it's really good. It's super strong, and the really funny thing is that if you look at the season upgrade, okay, it's called Combo. Basically, what it does is after casting the ultimate, deals additional damage to current target with each of the next 4 skill casts or normal attacks. So basically, now when you cast your ultimate, and then subsequently enemies will take additional skill damage. And this, why I say it's hilarious, because if you take a look at the Eironn skill, which I said is going to be a really good partner for the character. If you look at Eironn skill, he's also got combo. Yes, that's right. His seasonal is also combo. After casting ultimate, deals 125. It's the exact same thing. And of course, Eironn does have first ultimate cast does not consume energy, which means that this ultimate will come out right away. Even though the damage is reduced slightly, the damage, the CC will come out right away, and enabling the all the benefits from Elsa. So this is, you can see, going to be the Eironn CC team. We'll swap things around. Basically, you have Eironn paired up with Arden. Usually right here, because Arden is able to do bonus damage to units with CC, and it's really funny because I think it's gonna be a side or slightly upgraded to Arden. So you've got your CC teams with Caroline Thornton, sometimes as the main tank linked into Caroline, and then Eironn CC with Caroline supporting, doing damage, and then now we've got the possibility of running this new character, who is going to be Elsa. This does open up, I think, a couple of interesting new ideas, because Elsa ultimately is a mauler, and right now, because we do run Arden in the Eironn team composition, let me just swap to that. In the Eironn composition, if we run Arden, the last slot, right? The last slot is going to be another unit that synergizes with Wilder, because Wilder here in Eironn, and Wilder in Arden. That makes sense. If it's a mauler though, then if we still do the Caroline Thornton link, then we use Eironn, and then if we use a mauler, then the third slot is going to be a bit difficult to do, because you are not going to get the 3-2 formation buff, and this buff is quite crucial to most team compositions. So you're not going to get the 3+2 formation buff, but rather just 2 formation buff. So it'll be very interesting to see if this does change things. Like, we are not running Caroline potentially, but the Caroline synergy between the CC comp is too good. Then are you forced to run potentially Smokey with his new upgrade? Smokey's new upgrade, which prevents him from being CC'd when he has his things upgraded. So technically Smokey is a mauler, so mauler plus Elsa to go together, instead of having the Arden plus Hewen, for example. Could be another different meta. We'll see. We will have to test this and see if losing that faction bonus is going to be worth it, or we just say screw Caroline and then we go double mauler, so double healer, double mauler, and let Eironn just burst with the potential of Arden running alongside Elsa in this massive CC comp. But it's still early in the testing stage, but this is of course going to be my first impressions of the unit, and maybe we pull, maybe we don't. More things will need to be tested. I'm still trying to pull through the AFK journey stages for the Song of Strife season, and after we complete everything, let's see how many resources we get, and then we can go from there. Now, anyhow, let me know your thoughts, and this is TimaeuSS, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye now.